With sky-high home prices and tightened lending rules, being priced out of the real estate market is unfortunately a reality for many. The average salary in Canada is just under $50,000. In the Greater Toronto Area, the average home price is more than $700,000. It is even higher in Greater Vancouver, where the average home sells for nearly $900,000. So, with these numbers pushing home ownership just out of reach for countless Canadians, we called upon a real estate expert to go over what you can do if you were one of the many people in this position. Samantha Brooks, CEO of Mortgages Canada, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, we always are good to talk about real estate on this show. Let's start with alternatives to high home prices in the big cities. The last quarter, a detached home in Toronto proper going for over $1 million, 1.3. In the nearby suburb of Ajax, houses were selling for just over $600,000. It's about an hour's drive away. A lot of people are being forced to move to a smaller market.
Yes, this is true. I mean, not everyone's looking at what they can do to get into the market. So sometimes being outside of the city really helps in finding something that's more affordable. It's, again, still same down payment, still the same requirements. It's just that you have to make sure that it works for you, especially when you're commuting all the way from Ajax or Oshawa back into the city.
There are extra costs to factor in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, that's something you have to keep in mind whenever you're buying, because you have to be able to manage all the expenses.
Yeah, what are some of the benefits other than lower house prices?
Right, so you're gonna also get more home, right? Obviously, because down in Ajax, where I live, the homes are a little bit larger and they're less priced. But in Toronto, you're not gonna get much. $1 million property probably get you around 1,500 square feet. If you're looking to buy a condo, that's also a good option too as well, just to get your feet wet in the market.
Well, let's talk about that alternative then. If you don't want to pay the commuting costs, you don't want to pay the monthly parking costs, which in the city of Toronto are astronomical, right, you can opt for condo living. You know, a lot of people are heading in that route. Is it better to do condo than home?
Well, it's really a preference of yours, right? So if you don't mind the smaller space, then absolutely, that's a great way to go. And also, like, size, how much room do you need? If you have a family, perhaps living in the outskirts might work for you a little bit better. But you know what? People do it with families in condos, and it works.
All right, mortgage splitting is an idea not a lot of people know about. Are more people going this route, and who can you split a mortgage with?
Right, so you can split a mortgage with anyone, pretty much. People are looking at family members, people are looking at friends at splitting their mortgage.
What's the benefit?
The benefit is that you go half and half, pretty much. But if you do not, like, either way, you have to make sure that you have a contract. Right, so this is a business that you're getting into whenever you're mortgage splitting, because everyone should be responsible for their own assets or what they put in. So you want to make sure that you protect your interests that you put in, and potentially anything that can go wrong during the term of the contract is taken care of in writing.
So, and if you're going to split a house with somebody, make sure you know them well.
Make sure that it's a business contract.
This is not an option that a lot of people are presented with by banks, though, and why would that be?
Well, banks don't really tell you what you can and cannot do. It's really up to you to decide what it is that you want to do in order to get your foot in the market. All
right, high prices have put some people off entering the market at all. Renting seems to be the route for a lot of people. We were joking about this yesterday. You're a mortgage broker. Obviously, you're a big proponent of buying. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages?
Well, I mean, again, you have to look at all the expenses that come with purchasing. You have to come up with your down payment. You have to come up with your closing costs. Land transfer taxes, as we know, when you buy a home in Toronto, is higher than outside of the municipality.
Significantly higher.
Yes, extremely higher. So, I mean, these are things you'll have to take into consideration whenever you're purchasing. And do you have enough to actually buy a home? I mean, I always tell everyone to look at the big picture. How much do you have left over at the end of the month? You want to make sure that you have some cash flow, because it's a very high-risk investment that you're getting into, and you want to make sure that you're not going to lose it at the end of the day.
All right, if real estate is about investment, what are some of the signs of a good investment?
Location is one. You want to make sure that you're in a very good location and that it's affordable to you. You don't want to get yourself into a situation where you're not able to afford.
What if those things don't match? What if the good location doesn't match my budget?
Well, then perhaps just wait and rent, right? You want to keep saving until you can get there. There's other options of saving, so you can save by getting an RSP loan and using that money towards your down payment, even though you can only take out $25,000, I believe, towards your towards the purchase of a home. But, you know, it's still a start for something.
All right, Samantha Brooks, we could talk a lot longer, but we don't have the time this morning. CEO of Mortgages Canada, thanks for coming back.
Thank you so much for having me.